Hello everyone, and welcome to the Cinderella phenomenon. So this is a game that was highly recommended to me by one of my friends, and I promised to play it for her as soon as I finished the Doki Doki Literature Club. So, one thing I know about this is, like, there's 5 romance interests, and she has predicted which one I'm going to go with. But there are 2 of them that you can't romance until you, like, clear the game once, I think. So, we're gonna try it. Let's see. Start. No, I think I'm good without a tutorial, thank you. But, once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, there were 2 crystals. There you go. One was the crystal Lucis, protected by the ruler of the fairies. The other was the crystallum tenebrum, which was watched over by the high leader of the witches. The Lucis was sustained by love, happiness, and joy, and the tenebrum by fear, anger, and hatred. The fairies and witches lived together in harmony with the humans of the kingdom, which I suppose didn't really last very long, because in these kind of stories it never does. They regulated the powers of the crystals in order to maintain the balance between darkness and light. For there can be no joy without sadness, no courage without fear. The kingdom was at peace for a time, until someone decided to fuck it all up. Then one day, a traveling bard decided to write stories, tales of the magic and wonders of the kingdom, because that's what bards do. He named these stories fairy tales. In fairy tales, the light always emerged victorious, and true love was a usual reward. The fairy tales spread further than could have been predicted. The humans of the kingdom began to believe that fairy tales were true, and that the magic of the witches was inherently wicked and cruel. The witches became hated and feared. Eventually, they were hunted like animals. The witch hunt. The high leader of the witches, in all of her anger, created the Fairytale Curse. You think we are wicked? So be it! Just as you have taken our happily ever afters, so too we shall take yours. The witches used the Fairytale Curse to attack humans indiscriminately, ultimately throwing the kingdom into chaos and darkness. The ruler of the fairies, the Lucis Bearer, sought to regain peace. But the witches were blinded by their hatred for humans, who were responsible for the witch genocide. A terrible war, the Great War, began. Eventually, the Tenebrum Bearer, the high leader of the witches, was finally defeated. The Tenebrum was lost, peace was restored, and light once again triumphed, because of course it did, and that means nothing wicked is ever going to gestate underneath this peace in the meantime, ever, and come back twice as strong. But darkness can never fully disappear, exactly. It waits in the shadows, patient for when its time will inevitably return. Contract sign here. Lucette. Quick. Oh! We can write in our own name. Nice. Let's see. I'm not gonna be the idiot that signs my own name onto a contract I don't know what the conditions of are. So we're just gonna have that be Lucette. Prologue, the Ice Princess. My name is Lucette Riella Breton, daughter of King Gennaro Breton III. I am the crown princess of the kingdom of Angielle. At least, that was who I used to be. But that was before yesterday, when I became a victim of the infamous Fairytale Curse. Everyone has forgotten my birthright. Now, I am nothing more than a lowly peasant. I feel like I'm stuck in a nightmare. But no, this is my reality now. I still have no idea what I must do to break the curse. I close my eyes and remember that day. It had started out like any other day. Of course it did. Have you heard? Another person was cursed. I am on my way to the dining hall for breakfast when I stop and listen to the sound of hushed voices. There are two maids standing next to each other with brooms in hand. These two are slacking off again. That's terrible! What fairytale curse was it? They say it was Pinocchio. Pinocchio? The fairy tale with the lying boy whose nose grows longer? That's awful! You know, more and more people have been getting cursed lately. You think those wicked witches are up to something again? I thought the fairytale curses would stop after you-know-who was defeated. Voldemort? You two were hired to work, not talk. We're sorry, Your Highness. As can only be expected from the likes of them. Another fairytale curse. The fairytale curse started spreading even before the Great War began. I do not have much interest in its effects, even now. After all, most humans probably deserve to get cursed. The victims are weak. Angielle would probably be better off without the deadweight. If it were up to Mother, the cursed would have been banished from Angielle the instant they fell prey to it. But Mother is not here anymore, and she will not come back, ever. Princess, the King and Queen are waiting in the dining hall. I am on my way. Sorry, for a second I had to reread that because I thought the king's name was Ophelia, but the king, Ophelia, and Rod, okay, are all present in the dining room. Someone is conspicuously missing, but I ignore their absence. Mother dearest. Good morning, Lucette. Good morning, Your Majesty. Good morning, Lucette. Lucette. Ophelia. Ophelia Widensov. Every day I wonder why my father, the king, married a lowly baker. She could never be a true queen, for she pales in comparison to Mother. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the best mother of them all? It's not you. I take my seat next to the king and then look up at the person sitting opposite to me. Rod Benedict Widensov, my stepbrother, is bored and quiet as usual. He is 2 years my junior and is the younger of Ophelia's children. Where's the older, then? He is mute and uses a plush bunny to voice his thoughts. It was apparently given to him by a fairy. He minds his own business and is easy to deal with. But his older sister... My eyes go to the empty seat beside him. She is probably the most infuriating person I have ever had the displeasure of knowing. Oh, but she looks so precious. I'm so sorry I'm late. I was reading and forgot the time. Loathing, unadulterated loathing, for your face, your voice, your clothing. Let's just say, I love it all. That's the song that immediately comes to mind. And here she is. What is that? Emmeline? Good morning, dear father, mother. Good morning, Rod. And good morning to you too, Lucette. It is a beautiful morning, isn't it? Emmeline Widensov, Rod's elder sister and my stepsister. She acts as if we are blood, as if she too were born a princess. As if she could be crown princess, perhaps steal my place. I will never let that happen. Now that everyone is here, let us begin, because I cannot do a masculine voice, and so this is my closest approximation. Butlers glide in with silver trays to carefully serve us breakfast. So, Emmeline, you were reading the fairy tale books that the king brought you? Oh, yes! There are so many, and they're all so wonderful! Thank you so much, Father. I am happy that you like them. I love them! It is so strange that the library didn't have any of them to begin with. That is because Mother hated them. She had all the books burned. But why? They're such charming stories. And they caused the downfall of the kingdom, if you had paid any attention to the intro sequence. Fairy tales mislead humans into believing they can have things they do not deserve. Fame, riches, love, happily ever afters. And when their wishes do not come to fruition exactly as they want them to, the humans blame the witches for granting them in the first place. What are you implying about the witches, Lucette? The atmosphere shifts, the air in the room growing heavy. I continue to eat. Perhaps witches are not responsible for the evil in this world. Perhaps humans are the cause of their own downfall. Have you any idea what you're talking about, child? Witches have caused nothing but pain and suffering to this kingdom. Even now, they still spread the fairytale curse to our innocent subjects. The truth is, I know very little about the time the witches had free reign over Angielle. I was very young then, and Mother forbade me to leave the palace, sometimes even my room. I know nothing of the people's supposed pain and suffering. Mother kept me away from everyone, and so I cannot bring myself to care. Oh, she really is like Ileana. How do you know the cursed are innocent? Our people have been toiling day and night to rebuild Angielle after the Great War. Our people are the kingdom's foundation, and I am endlessly grateful for their determination and resolve. Every day, I wonder what your mother taught you about. Leave Mother out of this. Dear, please. Lucette, darling, your father didn't mean to. I am not one of your children, Ophelia. I do not need your sympathy. Lucette, you will show your mother respect! She is not my mother. I set down my fork and knife and stand up. Nor ever will she be. I am done. Excuse me. My father and I have never got on, but our relationship has significantly worsened since he married the baker. My father, the king. It has been 17 years and I have never felt any love from him. He treats Emmeline and Rod, who only entered our life 1 year ago, like his own children. Better than he has ever treated me. This has been my life ever since Mother passed away 4 years ago. Mother was the only one that was there for me when no one else was. If it wasn't for the accident during the Great War, she would still be here. Why the sour face so early in the morning, Princess? Oh, hello, handsome! Hi. Let me guess. It's the king, the queen, or Princess Emmeline? Or is it all of them? I ignore his question. Fritz, what are you doing here so early? I'm running some errands for my father. Fitzgerald Aidan Leverton. Her names are so weird. Son of the highest knight of the Order of Caldera. His father, Sir Alcaster, has served the royal family for many years. Sir Alcaster is one of the king's most trusted advisors. 3 years ago, Fritz was assigned the honor of becoming my personal knight. His presence is the only company I can tolerate nowadays. You should wait in the throne room, then. Thank you. Princess? Yes? You know, I haven't seen you smile once since I met you. Why is that of any importance? Still, I do hope to see you smile one day, Princess. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. I'll see you at 10. 10? Don't tell me you've forgotten. Forgotten what? You're going to town today, remember? I deflate as the realization dawns upon me. It has been 2 days since the king issued the order. Flashbacks in a flashback. Lucette, I would like you to accompany Emmeline on one of her town outings. Surely you could send maids with her instead? I would not have requested you to accompany her if I was going to send her with her maids. I want you to make an effort to get along with your sister. Step-sister? She is your sister, and you will treat her and Rod as if they were your own blood. 2 days from now, you are going to accompany Emmeline outside. The shock. Woo, that is a long time. It has been 4 years since you last left the palace. Ever since then, you have locked yourself away. You barely leave your room. Angielle was in the grip of war back then, but now the kingdom is safe and back to its former glory. I want you to see how beautiful Angielle really is. Lucette, a princess must know her kingdom. Go with Emmeline, and she will show you the town that you have only ever seen through your windows. Is that an order? If it needs to be. Are we clear? Lucette? Understood. The last time I left the palace was 4 years ago, when the king took me with him to check on the people after the Great War had ended. I shake my head, removing myself from the memory. I'm safe here. Princess, are you all right? It won't be that bad. The townsfolk are good people. How can you be so sure? Well, I can't really, but times have changed. People have changed. And that is precisely the problem. Mother never changed. Mother loved me until the end. Sometimes change is for the better, Princess. I think you'll see that today. If you'll excuse me, I shall see you later. Yeah. Well, at least you have a very cute bodyguard. Delora, do you think witches are capable of bringing back the dead? She's a very pretty doll. I think she's a doll. I mean, she's chibi, unlike the rest of everything. I wish you could talk to me, you and the others. My dolls are my only friends. They're the only ones I can trust. I see Cinderella right back in there. Belle. Is that Tiana? It's probably Tiana. I don't think I see the other Disney princesses in there, but I spy you three. Good references. And like humans, they will never betray me. They will never hurt me. They will always be there for me. The moment I saw Delora, I knew she was special. She was different, so elegant and realistic. It was almost as if she were breathing. She was a gift from the king on my 17th birthday. I only started receiving dolls from him when Mother passed away. Mother does not believe in birthday celebrations, but every year at midnight, a letter would appear under my door. It would contain instructions leading me through the palace on an adventure to a room filled with gifts, cakes, and sweets. A child's dream. I'd been fascinated by the dolls, which had always held a little greeting card. The card with the words, "I love you" on it, signed by M. The card would tell me to keep those celebrations a special secret, but I didn't need to be told that. Mother always found a way to show me she still cared, in her own way. The secret celebrations had stopped as soon as she had disappeared. Yes? Excuse me, Your Highness. The king has requested your presence. This had better not be another lecture, but we shall attend this lecture in the next episode. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye!